The world is full of fascinating, unexpected facts that are guaranteed to change the way you see things. Some will make you laugh, some will make you think, and some might even leave you in awe of the wonders of nature and history. Get ready to supercharge your brain with these 40 incredible facts that will make you rethink the world around you. Let's dive in. 1. A day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus. Venus is one of the most intriguing planets in our solar system, and one of the most bizarre things about it is that a day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus. It takes Venus 243 Earth days to complete a full rotation on its axis, making its days longer than its 225-day orbit around the Sun. That means that Venus experiences more than one full day before it completes its orbit around the Sun. This unusual phenomenon is due to the planet's slow rotation and is a fascinating example of how different planets can defy our expectations of time. 2. Cows have best friends. Cows, often thought of as simple farm animals, have emotional lives more complex than many realize. Studies have shown that cows can form close social bonds with specific other cows, often forming what could be considered best friendships. When separated from their best friends, cows show signs of stress and anxiety, and in some cases, their heart rates even increase. These findings have revolutionized the way we think about animals' emotional and social lives, suggesting that they are not as different from us as we might think. 3. You can't have the same fingerprint as anyone else, even if you're identical twins. Identical twins are genetically identical, but they do not share the same fingerprints. This surprising fact is due to the complex nature of fingerprint formation. While DNA plays a significant role in creating fingerprints, environmental factors, such as the position of the fetus in the womb, pressure on the fingertips, and the amount of amniotic fluid surrounding the baby, contribute to the unique patterns that form. This means that even twins who share the same genetic material will have distinct fingerprints, which is just one example of how each human being is unique in their own right. 4. The Moon was once part of Earth. The Moon is often seen as a separate celestial body, but its origins are deeply intertwined with Earth's history. The most widely accepted theory is that the Moon was once part of Earth and formed after a massive collision with a Mars-sized object, about 4.5 billion years ago. The debris from this collision eventually came together to form the Moon. This theory is supported by the fact that Earth and the Moon share many similarities in their composition, including their isotopic compositions. This connection suggests that the Moon is, in a sense, a piece of Earth that was sent into orbit after a catastrophic event. 5. Honey never spoils. Archaeologists have discovered pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are over 3,000 years old and still perfectly edible. The reason honey never spoils lies in its unique chemical composition. Honey is extremely low in moisture, which prevents bacteria and other microorganisms from growing. Additionally, it is acidic and contains natural preservatives such as hydrogen peroxide. These factors make honey resistant to spoilage, which is why it has been used for thousands of years as both food and medicine. Its incredible shelf life means that a jar of honey could, in theory, last forever. 6. Wombat poop is cube-shaped. Wombats, marsupials native to Australia, have one of the most bizarre and unique forms of excrement in the animal kingdom: cube-shaped poop. This strange phenomenon is caused by the structure of their intestines, which are unusually long and have sections that stretch and contract to form the cube shape. The shape of the poop serves a practical purpose. It helps keep their waste from rolling away. Wombats use their poop to mark their territory, and the cube shape ensures that it stays in place, making it easier for them to communicate with other wombats in their area. 7. The Eiffel Tower can grow taller in summer. It's a well-known fact that the Eiffel Tower is a global symbol of France, but what many people don't realize is that it actually grows taller during the summer months. The metal structure of the Eiffel Tower expands when it gets hot, making the tower increase in height by up to 6 inches, 15 centimeters, in the warmer months. This happens due to a process known as thermal expansion, where materials expand as they heat up. So if you visit Paris in the summer, you're seeing a slightly taller version of the tower than if you visited in winter. 8. Sharks have been around longer than trees. Sharks have existed for more than 400 million years, making them one of the oldest living creatures on Earth. Remarkably, sharks existed a full 100 million years before the first trees appeared. These ancient predators have survived mass extinctions and have continued to evolve into the diverse species we see today. Sharks have outlived many of Earth's most significant environmental changes, making them an extraordinary example of resilience and survival. 9. Octopuses have 3 hearts. The octopus, one of the most intelligent and fascinating creatures in the ocean, has a circulatory system unlike any other animal on Earth. It has 3 hearts. One pumps blood to the body, while the other 2 pump blood to the gills. What's even more remarkable is that when an octopus swims, the heart that pumps blood to the body stops beating. This is one of the reasons why octopuses prefer crawling to swimming. It's far less exhausting for them. The 3-heart system helps octopuses survive in the deep, oxygen-poor waters where they live. 10. A lightning bolt can reach temperatures 5 times hotter than the sun. When lightning strikes, it creates an intense burst of energy that can heat the surrounding air to temperatures of around 30,000 Kelvin, 53,540 degrees Fahrenheit. This is 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun, which is around 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The heat from lightning causes the air to expand rapidly, creating the shockwave that we hear as thunder. This extreme heat and energy are why lightning can be so destructive, causing fires, damage to buildings, and even fatalities. 11. Pineapples were once so expensive that they were rented out. In the 18th century, pineapples were an exotic luxury item that symbolized wealth and status. They were so rare and expensive that people would rent them for parties and social events just to show off their affluence. The fruit would be paraded around as a centerpiece, and after the event, it would be returned. The high cost of pineapples was due to the difficulty in cultivating them and the lengthy shipping process from the tropics. Pineapples eventually became more affordable, but during this time, they were seen as a true status symbol. 12. The Great Wall of China is not visible from space. Many people believe that the Great Wall of China is visible from space, but this is actually a myth. While it is certainly a massive structure, it is too narrow and blends in with the natural terrain to be visible from the orbiting International Space Station with the naked eye. Astronauts have stated that they can't see the Great Wall from space without aid, and even then, it's difficult to distinguish. However, the wall's history and scale make it an incredible feat of human engineering and one of the most iconic landmarks on Earth. 13. Tardigrades can survive in space. Tardigrades, also known as water bears, are microscopic animals that are capable of surviving in some of the most extreme conditions on Earth, and even beyond. In 2007, scientists sent tardigrades into space, where they were exposed to the vacuum and radiation of outer space. Remarkably, many of the tardigrades survived the journey, some even reproducing afterward. This amazing resilience is due to their ability to enter a state called cryptobiosis, where they dry out and essentially shut down until they encounter water again. 14. A snail can sleep for 3 years. Snails are known for their slow pace, but one of the most fascinating traits of certain species of snails is their ability to sleep for up to 3 years. This hibernation-like state occurs when environmental conditions are too harsh, such as during periods of extreme drought. During this time, snails secrete a mucus that seals them inside their shells, preventing water loss. When the conditions improve, they wake up, ready to continue their slow, steady life. This extraordinary ability helps them survive in environments where food and water are scarce for long periods. 15. Bamboo can grow up to 35 inches in a single day. Bamboo is one of the fastest-growing plants on Earth, with some species able to grow up to 35 inches, 91 centimeters, in a single day. That's more than 1.5 inches per hour. This rapid growth is due to bamboo's unique ability to grow in a concentrated manner. Bamboo's strong root system and efficient photosynthesis allow it to thrive in a variety of environments, making it one of the most sustainable resources on Earth. 16. There's a species of jellyfish that is essentially immortal. The Turritopsis dohrnii, also known as the immortal jellyfish, is capable of reverting its cells to their earliest form after reaching adulthood, essentially starting its life cycle over. This process, known as transdifferentiation, allows the jellyfish to avoid death from old age and could potentially allow it to live indefinitely, making it biologically immortal. While it still faces threats from disease or predation, its ability to cheat death makes it one of the most remarkable creatures in the animal kingdom. 17. The shortest war in history lasted just 38 minutes. The Anglo-Zanzibar War of 1896 is often cited as the shortest war in history, lasting a mere 38 minutes. The war broke out after the death of the Sultan of Zanzibar, who was replaced by a new sultan that the British didn't approve of. The British forces quickly bombarded the palace, and the war ended shortly thereafter with a decisive British victory. The brief conflict is a reminder of the unpredictability of history and how even major events can happen in a flash. 18. You can't taste food without saliva. Your ability to taste food is largely dependent on the presence of saliva. When you eat, saliva helps break down the food, dissolving the chemicals that activate your taste buds. Without saliva, it would be impossible to taste most foods, as the chemicals that make them flavorful would not be able to interact with your taste receptors. Saliva is an essential part of the digestive process, aiding in everything from breaking down starches to forming the food bolus that moves through your throat. 19. There's a place in the ocean that's so deep it has its own ecosystem. The Mariana Trench is the deepest part of the world's oceans, plunging down to over 36,000 feet, about 11 kilometers. The extreme depth and pressure of the trench create an isolated environment that is home to a unique ecosystem of creatures. Many of these organisms have evolved specialized adaptations to survive in complete darkness, extreme cold, and crushing pressure. Species like the giant amoeba and the snailfish have been discovered here, some of which have never been seen anywhere else on Earth. 20. The human body has more bacteria than cells. The human body is home to trillions of bacteria, outnumbering human cells by a ratio of about 10 to 1. These bacteria live primarily in the gut and play a crucial role in digestion, immune function, and overall health. While many of these microorganisms are beneficial, some can be harmful if the balance is disrupted. The fascinating thing is that our bodies and these bacteria have evolved together, and maintaining a healthy microbiome is key to maintaining good health. 21. Ants can lift 50 times their own weight. Ants are incredibly strong for their size, able to carry objects up to 50 times their body weight, which is a feat that would be impossible for humans. 22. The Amazon rainforest produces 20% of the world's oxygen. Often referred to as the lungs of the earth, the Amazon rainforest plays a vital role in producing oxygen and regulating the planet's climate. 23. Butterflies taste with their feet. Butterflies have taste sensors on their feet, allowing them to taste plants simply by landing on them. 24. Water can boil and freeze at the same time. This phenomenon, known as the triple point, occurs when temperature and pressure are just right, allowing water to exist as a liquid, gas, and solid simultaneously. 25. Koalas sleep for 18 hours a day. Koalas are known for their incredibly long naps, sleeping for up to 18 hours a day due to their low-energy diet of eucalyptus leaves. 26. Cows have best friends. Studies have shown that cows form deep friendships and become stressed when separated from their close companions. 27. Bananas are radioactive. Bananas contain potassium, and a small fraction of potassium is the radioactive isotope potassium-40. But don't worry, it's harmless. 28. Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins. Sloths can hold their breath for up to 40 minutes underwater, a skill they use while swimming, which is longer than dolphins, who can hold their breath for about 10 minutes. 29. A snail can sleep for 3 years. Some species of snails can enter a deep hibernation-like state, allowing them to sleep for up to 3 years, typically during unfavorable conditions. 30. Humans share 60% of their DNA with bananas. Despite being vastly different, humans and bananas share about 60% of the same DNA, highlighting the interconnectedness of life. 31. The world's largest desert isn't the Sahara. It's actually Antarctica. When people hear the word desert, they usually imagine a scorching hot place covered in sand dunes like the Sahara. But in scientific terms, a desert is not defined by temperature. It's defined by how much precipitation, rain or snow it gets. Deserts are places that receive less than 10 inches, 25 centimeters, of precipitation per year. Based on that definition, the largest desert on Earth isn't the Sahara Desert, it's Antarctica, covering about 5.5 million square miles, 14.2 million square kilometers. Antarctica is the driest, coldest, and windiest desert on the planet, making it officially the largest desert in the world. 32. A day on Earth isn't a perfect 24 hours. Most people grow up learning that a day on Earth is exactly 24 hours long. But that's only technically true if we're talking about a solar day, measured from noon to noon. However, if you measured how long it takes the Earth to complete a full 360-degree rotation relative to distant stars, called a sidereal day, it's actually shorter, about 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4 seconds. This small difference is why we occasionally need leap years and leap seconds to keep our clocks and calendars aligned with the Earth's motion. 33. The Eiffel Tower can shrink by up to 6 inches in cold weather. The Eiffel Tower in Paris, France, isn't just a famous landmark. It's also a great example of how materials like metal expand and contract with temperature changes. In the summer, when temperatures are high, the metal of the Eiffel Tower expands, causing the structure to grow slightly taller, by as much as 6 to 7 inches, 15 to 18 cm. But in the winter, when temperatures drop, the opposite happens. The metal contracts, and the tower can shrink by up to 6 inches, 15 centimeters. Temperature really does make a difference. 34. The moon is slowly moving away from Earth every year. The moon isn't fixed in place. In fact, it's slowly drifting away from Earth at a rate of about 1.5 inches, 3.8 centimeters, per year. This happens because of tidal forces between the Earth and the moon. Earth's oceans create friction that transfers energy to the moon's orbit, causing it to gradually spiral away from us. If this process continues for billions of years, it could have dramatic effects on Earth's tides, the length of our days, and even the stability of our planet's tilt. 35. Some sharks can survive for weeks without eating. Sharks are often thought of as relentless hunters, constantly searching for their next meal. But many species of sharks have adapted to survive in environments where food isn't always available. Thanks to their incredibly slow metabolism, sharks like the great white or tiger shark can go without eating for weeks, sometimes even months, after consuming a large meal. Their bodies efficiently store energy from food, allowing them to endure long periods of fasting when prey is scarce. 36. The Great Wall of China isn't easily visible from space. There's a long-standing myth that the Great Wall of China is the only man-made structure visible from space with the naked eye. However, this is not true. Astronauts who have orbited the Earth report that the Great Wall is very difficult to see from space without the aid of a telescope or perfect lighting conditions. The wall's color and narrow width cause it to blend in with the surrounding landscape. In contrast, things like city lights at night or large airports are far more visible from orbit. 37. The oldest known living animal was a clam named Ming. In 2006, scientists discovered a remarkable ocean creature off the coast of Iceland, a clam from the species Arctica islandica. This clam, nicknamed Ming, because it was born during China's Ming Dynasty, was determined to be an astonishing 507 years old. This made it the oldest known non-colonial living animal ever discovered. Sadly, Ming's age was only discovered after scientists accidentally killed it while opening its shell to count its growth rings. 38. Cleopatra lived closer in time to the moon landing than to the building of the pyramids. When people think of ancient Egypt, they often assume that Cleopatra lived around the same time as the pyramids of Giza were built. But in reality, the Great Pyramid was constructed around 2560 BC, while Cleopatra ruled Egypt in the 1st century BC, around 51 to 30 BC. That means Cleopatra lived about 2,000, 500 years after the Great Pyramid was built. But only about 2,000 years before humans first landed on the moon in 1969. So Cleopatra lived closer to the space age than to the age of the pyramids. 39. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. Flamingos are known for their striking pink feathers and graceful appearance. But did you know that a group of flamingos has one of the most fabulous collective nouns in the animal kingdom? It's called a flamboyance. The term fits perfectly considering how bright, colorful, and almost theatrical flamingos look when gathered together. Flamingos get their pink or reddish color from carotenoid pigments found in the algae and crustaceans they eat. 40. Honey never spoils. Archaeologists have found edible honey that's thousands of years old. Honey is one of the few natural foods known to have an almost eternal shelf life. Incredibly, archaeologists working in ancient Egyptian tombs have discovered pots of honey that are over 3,000 years old and still perfectly edible. The reason honey can last so long comes down to its unique chemical makeup. It has very low moisture content and is highly acidic, creating an environment where bacteria and microorganisms simply cannot survive. Additionally, bees add an enzyme called glucose oxidase to honey when making it, which produces small amounts of hydrogen peroxide, a natural preservative. This combination of low water, acidity, and natural antibacterial properties makes honey one of nature's most remarkable foods, capable of lasting indefinitely if kept sealed and protected from moisture. And there you have it, 40 mind-blowing, fascinating, and totally random facts that prove just how strange, surprising, and incredible our world really is. From ancient honey that never spoils, to sharks surviving weeks without food, to the moon slowly drifting away from Earth, reality is often more unbelievable than fiction. These fun facts remind us that there's always something new to learn, no matter how much we think we already know. The universe is full of mysteries, nature is packed with wonders, and history is overflowing with surprises. So keep exploring, stay curious, and never stop asking questions, because the world is way cooler than we sometimes realize.